This is Kim Jones, aka Jones Strength, coming at you with a new video on cyclist squats. I get a lot of love on IG on the wheels, and so I kind of want to share with you guys what I did to build up that inner quad VMO teardrop muscle to give my quads some nice sweeps. I read a book called Poliquin Principles by a guy named Charles Poliquin. If you don't know who this guy is, you got to do your homework. He's worked with high-level Olympians, he's worked with Olympic medalists, he's worked with bodybuilders. He's a man, he's a genius. And this book talked about cyclist squats, which he programmed for high-level cyclists who were developing the vastus lateralis, the outer part of the quad, but weren't really developing the VMO. And so I had that same issue and basically implemented this exercise called cyclist squats. Check the video out. It's very short. Just two disclaimers. One, I never loaded heavy. I do very high volume, 15, 16, up to 18, 20 reps. And number two, I basically executed this exercise based on what I read. So I may not be executing it like he intended, but it worked for me, and that's why I'm giving you guys video, because you can actually get a visual and some cues on how I do it, and hopefully it helps you guys out as well. So check it out. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting set up, got my feet in a super narrow stance, feet are elevated on a 45-pound plate, and I've got Olympic weightlifting shoes on, so my heels are already elevated. It just gives me a little more lift, but I have done these in flat shoes. I've done these in some old school ASIC Tigers, and it still works like a charm, actually. But what the elevation does is it shifts the load towards the front, so it's more of a quad dominant exercise. And the narrow stance, because I'm in such a close stance, hits the inner quad, so it hits that VMO muscle really nicely. Now I'm taking my time. I'm making sure this is a nice and controlled movement, so I'm lowering myself slowly, holding the bottom. When I feel activation, I drive out in a controlled manner. I don't explode out, so it's a time under tension kind of thing, so I keep constant activation and blood flow to the teardrop muscle. My knees are past the toe, so that's why it's really a quad dominant exercise, but my butt's back. So I'm still driving through my heels and my knees feel good, but it's just less of a glute ham activator as it would be in a regular squat where I'd be sitting back way more and my knees would be really behind my toes.